Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Average Joe's Model Bench. I've had a little bit of a chance to work on Trumpeters BMR 3. Like I kind of expected, there was already found a couple parts that were misnumbered. Did make a little progress last night. Got one side of the running gear suspension arms in place. It took probably about 2 hours to work on that. Wasn't too bad. One of the things I like to do over here on the instruction sheet, where you have multiple parts that are very similar. See if I can get that focused in a little bit better. There it is. That are very similar but different. I just take a simple piece of masking tape, fold over half of it, and write the number on it. Holds it in place while it dries, and you keep your parts in order. So that being one thing said, also on the lower hull there's these, they'll call them on the one side A17, when in reality they need to be pointing back towards the end of the track, and A134 are the ones that you need to be using. So that was the one mistake that I noticed that the instructions had already. I got the fuel drums already glued up. That way they'll get good and hard and solid, so I can do the sanding and seam filling on them. I've also done the same thing with the mine roller arms. They had to use some clothespins to hold those down because they weren't wanting to glue evenly. Did a little more cleanup on the kit. Did notice on the front half of the tank, or armored vehicle I guess it is, there's a pretty heavy seam that runs down the front on this part here. So that's probably going to be a good little use for either a weld bead or some Vallejo acrylic putty, because this stuff is awesome. It's not great to sand on. It dries extremely hard, but for filling gaps like that without sanding, you can just squeeze a little bead down in that crack, and then while it's still wet, you can take a Q-tip or a cotton bud with a little bit of water, and you can just wipe the top surface of it off, and it'll leave enough putty down in the crack that you won't need to do much sanding at all. Stuff does shrink up a little bit, and it is hard to sand, but the fact that you can get away with a lot of the sanding is a very nice touch. One of the other things I know everybody dreads building on tanks are the cleanup of the wheels. This particular kit has, each wheel has 3 attachment points on it. And I've glued this one here up off camera just to save a little bit of time. But my method of choice for cleaning them up is glue them up, just like I've done. And then I take a little Dremel tool. This is my Dremel of choice right here. I believe it's the Dremel 2050. It's not the most powerful Dremel in the world, but I like it just for the ease of, sorry for hitting the camera there, ease of just comfort. For some of the other Dremels and rotary tools just don't fit your hand real well. And all I've done on this is I've taken a bit of straight metal clothes hanger, I've cut it off, put a little tape on it so it fits in there properly, and it fits onto the wheel properly. And I can just simply take the wheel with the poly cap in there, slide the wheel on it, and then on a simple sanding stick. These actually came from Sally's Beauty Supply. I think they were like $1.50. So there's plenty of those around, and then just simply stopping every now and again, checking it out. But and then it flies off on camera, but that's already getting it. And it's got to keep it round because it's spinning. So because of that, I think this is the easiest and quickest way to clean up road wheels. And then already hit it with a finer sanding stick. This is the coarse one, and you got a road wheel ready to go. Pretty simple stuff, and it does cut down on a lot of time and that dreaded cleaning up of all the sprue marks on your road wheels. So, might be a little bit more helpful on a German tank where there's countless road wheels. I think this one here only has 6 on each side, so it's not awful, but it's still, if you can take a dreaded chore and make it a little simpler, and hey, you're playing with a power tool, so that adds a degree of fun. So, but that's my progress so far, and we're going to continue at it and try and share some more videos of build progress. Thanks again for watching. Have a great evening.